Hey, we're here for the finals of the Misty Mountain Premodern Championship, part number 2. And it's Sam Black and Nathan Marhefke. And if you've watched the finals of any of our other events, you will probably recognize both of these names. Nathan won our second ever event. Sam won the previous one, and they're squaring off. One of these two will be a 2-time champion. And here's a little factoid. Do you know that only 3 people have ever won any of these tournaments?
Is that true?
Yeah, Will's won twice, and each of these guys won once.
All right.
So we have 5 events and only 3 winners total.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick, actually.
And we're locked in for just these 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty insane. All right.
I want to see if if Nathan will just never miss winning a Mox Diamond off me, taking one of my Mox Diamonds. Sam is starting off with. Should I let him know they can proceed?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go.
You guys are good to go.
Sam jumped the gun a little and put out turn 1 land. Turn 1 scroll rack.
Yeah.
You know what?
I think so the good thing about this play right here and just jamming on turn 1 is that Sam knows that Nathan can't Daze it and can't Counterspell either. So he can only trade with a foil, which is a pretty good exchange for Sam. And now this scroll rack is just going to be in play. Just straight up. Like, nothing's going to touch this. So now Sam only needs to resolve the land tag, which is going to be, it's only 1 mana, a lot easier to resolve. And in the meantime, this scroll rack is going to be giving Sam some nice value alongside the fetch lands, and obviously, if he does get to resolve the rack, it's going to be great. The rack is also going. Sorry, I meant land tax. Also, a rack is going to help find the land tax, which is also pretty good. Turns out that Sam already had it, so there we go. But
A little.
Yeah.
They might be able to hear us, so try to control volume a little bit.
okay, so there you go. It does get. And I think this allows Sam to just make another land drop, particularly if Sam has access to Gush, which he does. So, we're just gushing main phase. He's from the school of Nathan Marhefke of main phase gushing.
Sense a pattern. Maybe there's a correlation to doing well main phase gushing.
Oh, did Sam mess up and not play his second island before land tax, or do you think there's a reason why he did it that way?
I think that he just wants to have more cards to shuffle back with the rack. He's looking for another land tax.
Okay.
He's not necessarily interested in.
But I mean, if he gushes into a foil, he would have resolved his land tax.
Sure. He could have been able to resolve it, but maybe that I'm not even sure that was a misstep.
Or even he could have gushed and then scroll racked to look for a foil to make his land tax resolve.
Yeah, that would have probably been better.
I like my line. I like it.
Yeah, okay. It does run into Daze, but this is running to Daze anyway, right? So
Yeah, he did play around Daze well with it.
now we see Nathan going for it, which I think is correct, honestly. The likelihood that this Dreadnought gets there, it's not very high, but the longer this game goes, the worse that it gets for Nathan. So
Right.
didn't Sam also beat Dreadnought in the finals of the previous Misty event where he won?
He played against. I don't even remember.
No, he beat.
I think beat Blue. Oh, it
no,
was
he beat
Grotog.
Grotog. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right. All right. So here, Sam did indeed find the land tax, and this game is gonna be slipping away very quickly for Nathan.
Nathan is impulsing to a gush.
Yeah. He already has a dead card in hand, that source of Gush has literally no targets that Sam cares about, because if the Dreadnought gets plowed, it's just shrugs and finds another one.
Okay, he found a Meddling.
On the Mage, which is interesting. Huh. He can actually play it right now because he has a 2 blue mana floating from Gush. I think you probably name Source to Plowshares.
He has a swords in his hand, and also Sam's not just Parfait; he's ParfaitNought. So
I know that's
it's very reasonable he's going to need to plow.
yes, but as I was saying earlier, if Sam is very much the control deck, and if we get to Nathan's only shot is to rush Sam and to kill Sam before Sam's able to mount a defense or an offense in the case of Sam's specific list. So we're going to see a situation where I mean I wouldn't be surprised if Swords of Black was named here. I could also see Oath of Druids get named here. The problem is like if you name Oath, like the Dreadnought can come anyway because Sam can just draw a Dreadnought. So there's not really that much value in naming Oath.
Does he? Is it worth naming like Vision Charm or Stifle and just like
No, I think
blowing out the
It's
ability?
funny, like no matter what half you name, there's something else available.
Exactly.
You name the Oath, the Dreadnought could be there. You
Yeah.
name the Dreadnought, the Oath could be there. You name Stifle, the Vision Charm could be there.
exactly. So I think that Nathan's
Thank you,
only
James
hope,
Smith.
the only hope for Nathan is that Sam's draw is way too clunky, and that he's able to like just kill him before he finds an answer. Like he finds the combo, because like there's no answer now anymore, right? The Soul Splasher's out of the picture, so now it's a matter of Sam finding the combo, which shouldn't be too hard. So we're gonna be
Yeah, it doesn't seem too clunky to me.
yeah.
But I guess I need never place another land.
No, and Nathan's playing to his house. Like it's very what he's doing. I think it's very much correct. I think that he's going for the correct lines here. I just think that Sam's draw was incredibly good.
Yeah.
Like some had like as close to a nut draw as his deck can have in the matchup. Like he had the rack. He had like two land attacks actually. The first one got countered. The second one was the one that got the job done. He had gushes. He basically had it all. So
He's gonna guide blessing a single impulse back into his deck. Was that what that was?
it was a gush.
It was a gush. Okay.
He
it
he
is
shuffled
way
back a
impulse, what I was
gush,
thinking.
and now it's just threw and discover paradise. But yeah,
Alright.
it's gonna be really tricky for Nathan here.
Nathan's gonna attack.
He can play
See, I wouldn't
one
play
land.
I wouldn't play land.
I mean, you're dead to gush anyway, right? And that's by the way, that is as I said earlier, that is exactly why the blue versions of Parfait are just work so well with Gush. It's because Gush allows Sam to play another land. Like if there were no Gushes in Sam's deck, he actually cannot play a second land because it's just so easy for Nathan to work around it and like to basically blanket the land. But because of this, like Sam can just develop his mana up to 2 islands and then just gush those islands back later in the game and still be able to set up land tax.
Right.
Okay, so now we are actually tutoring for Oath as opposed to tutoring for Dreadnought, which is better because it is 1 Dreadnought every turn. So
That's amazing.
so that's probably pretty good.
This is the hook.
Mm-hmm. So Sam is in a very commanding position here. He's gonna take the 2 damage, not care too much about it.
Turns the Meddling Mage into a liability.
Yep. All right, so we do see the Oath trigger. We have a blessing. Blessing obviously pretty good for Sam. Like that shuffles back the tutor, shuffles back another land tag. So all goodies for Sam. It's all coming Sam's way at this point.
Every card you hate in pre-modern is currently in play. Sam's side.
There's no winter orb. Winter orb stasis. There's no stasis.
Nobody hates those cards anymore.
Nobody
Black,
hates
Black
news.
Diamond Latex, Oath of Druid, Scroll and Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Is Goblin Lackey hated? Or a Jackal Pup?
Those are heroes compared to these cards.
Those are heroes. Yeah, so
And Meddling Mage.
we did have a little
Who
bit
hates
of a
Meddling Mage?
there
I
we
don't know
go.
what he does.
I know who doesn't hate
Yeah, yeah.
This guy right
Yeah.
here. But yeah, we did have a little bit of a counter fight there. We had the Dreadnought coming in. Obviously, the Dreadnought by itself doesn't do anything, so we do need to have a way to work around it with the other piece of the combo. But Sam had 2, both the Stifle and the Vision Charm, so Nathan's Counterspell was not enough.
This is the thumbnail for this event.
All right, there we go. Main phase impulse. As I said earlier, like the interaction that I was just talking about just came up. Sam was able to gush the lands back to his hand, and now he's looking at triggering land tax and just running away with the game from now.
Yeah, I think if you did a poll of like most hated cards in pre-modern currently, I think Sam would be very close to the top 5. Like in play, like,
Yeah, that's fair.
permanence. Yeah.
I mean, what you said earlier about like potentially banning Chaos Blessing, it's just so hilarious to me, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense.
I don't
it
like
kind of
it.
helps. I don't like it either. I think Gas is a really, really cool card to exist in the format, but it does enable a bunch
It
of
seems
these
too
secondaries.
roundabout. It's like
Yeah,
not addressing the
It's
problem.
really
Right.
it's like, you know, when in Vintage they ban anything except except shops.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sam's racking now, putting back a couple of lands, getting back some goodies. There were like another blessing, I think, and another rack. And we're gonna be triggering land tax here. We have an active Dreadnought it's ready to be down. And yeah, this is
Dreadnought has attacked 3 times though.
that is true. That
So-
is true. This is a Dreadnought that needs to come in 3 times.
Because
Oh,
of the Sword
yeah,
to Plowshares, yeah. So
That is very, very true.
is
I
there?
don't think it's gonna have any problem doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the option that Nathan can block and then trigger Oath if he has something from his end, and
That
try,
is true.
try and kind of equalize and then go back to square one. But that still kind of plays into what Sam wants to do. Like if everyone just kind of trades resources with land tax and scroll rack, you're in a pretty good spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of exactly where Sam's deck excels, right? But when you're trading 1 for 1, but he's drawing 3 more cards than you every single turn. And I know that Nathan's gushing, but
Yeah.
that
Nathan-
that can't keep up with like rack plus land tax.
Racking for those extra cards, right, just protects the Dreadnought so well too, right? Like gives
Yep.
you more vision charms. And
You find more vision charms. You
stifles.
you get to like shuffle division charms back. Like honestly, like this deck by Sam is kind of a masterpiece. Like the more that I look at it, the more that I like it.
Pretty simple concept too overall. Like it's like that different
I mean, when I first
as far as like just once you see it, you're like, oh, it's
when I
okay.
first heard it, like it kind of sounded like a joke. Like you're just kind of like,
Mhm.
oh, I just threw in Dreadnought to my Parfait deck. It sounds on the surface, it sounds kind of bad, but yeah, when you kind of put things together, it makes a lot of sense.
And it's just like all the pieces work so smoothly together, right? The only thing that it asks of you is like, okay, now your oath needs extra work. Like that's the only thing
Yeah.
that you're, because like your
He only
oath
plays-
without
he only
stifle.
plays one though.
Really?
Yeah.
You only plays the 1 oath.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is so
Yeah, it's just a
genius.
miser copy. Yeah.
Oh my god, he
Well-
plays only 1 oath. Dude, Sam is a genius. God damn, that's so good. That is so good.
I think they can hear you.
I think some
I
people are watching the stream.
Oh, okay.
that is wow. All right, yeah. Dude, like this deck is great. There's only 1 oath. That's crazy. That makes a lot of sense, right? Because like you need to like make room for those with like for those like stifles and vision charms, right? We see an impulse here on the stack.
It's
And-
basically just Stiflenought. You took out a bunch of some number of the like impulse and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
just threw in Tex Rack and
Yeah.
E-Tutor.
Right. One thing that's pretty interesting and pretty telling there is the fact that Nathan just left white blue up as opposed to blue with the counterspell in hand. So like you could tell that he was digging for something specific. Also, I don't think there's any spells that he cares about countering at this point because like, it just doesn't matter. Like Sam has so many cards, there's no way he can really punch through. We're gonna see another oath trigger on the stack, but he's stacking triggers. Okay. So we're gonna be looking for the. Okay, so we fetch for lands first, and then we're gonna be triggering oath afterwards.
This is the proper order because you could just mill all your basics into your graveyard.
Yep.
And hit a Dreadnought and then not be able to land tax.
This is real dirty.
Yeah. It's
Yep,
it's
yep.
brutal. Yeah, it's so good. And I think that's one thing that I kind of really like. Because one thing that I've experienced when playing Parfait is that you you land tax or whatever, and then you scroll rack, and then you end up going to discard a fair amount, right? But when your win condition is Dreadnought, you just use all of your cards, right? So you were just always going to like, cool, okay, so I have like 10 cards in hand. Here's a Dreadnought, here's a Stifle, and like next turn we shuffle back with a blessing, and we go up, we just do that again. You know what I'm saying? So it's really really cool.
12-12s, man.
Yeah, 2 12-12s are better than a 12-12 and a 2-2. And this Oath engine is insane. Just the one-off. That's so genius.
Parfait elves win.
Parfait helps. That's the next step. That's the next step. Just Oath into Wirewood Symbiote, then Oath into the Range Hermit. Easy.
Someone already made Draco Blast just an Oath deck.
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
Parfait deck.
Yeah, everything is parfaitable.
Should Nathan be like blocking with his Meddling Mage at this point?
I mean, I honestly don't think that it matters. I don't think that I don't think that there's too much. Not game one.
I don't know if that's totally true, because like Nathan could do weird things. Like he could just Vision Charm Sam's one Dreadnought that he has and hit him for 12 at this point, you know?
Sam could also do the same thing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sure.
I mean, did you just see Sam draw 9?
Yeah. Yes. That's 9 cards is a lot of cards. I agree, but
Maybe there's no Vision Charms there.
try 9.
Maybe there's actual no Vision Charms there, and this can work out. I mean, you do bring up a good point, though. Like maybe there's like a roundabout way for Nathan to like steal a victory here. Seems really unlikely.
Ooh, could we see this one get aggressive and then he just plays another Dreadnought and like sacrifices the tapped one? So it's like Vigilance.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. I hadn't even thought about it. Like the more that I think about this deck, the better that it gets.
The oath after you oathing after you attack will be hard. Right?
No, just so because if Sam's like afraid of some weird thing of like him double blocking and Nathan having 2 Vision Charms to phase him out to deal 12 or something. Obviously, it's not gonna happen. He's got a million cards in hand, but
yeah, but
keep your guy vigilant.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you can attack if Nathan actually lets one of the Dreadnoughts through, you just play second sacrifice the tapped one.
Yeah,
it's really good.
The crazy it's kind of the ideal situation once you with land tax with like a Parfait setup is like you have nothing but one casting off spells. You know, you don't need that many lands in play to do like many things. You know, with these Dreadnoughts in play, like protect them and things. And
I mean, that's one of the strengths of Dreadnought, right? Like it just thrives on working with like very low amount of lands, and like the Parfait deck, that's exactly the same. So there you go.
Yeah, the more I watch this deck, the more I think we're all just stupid for not having come up with this by now.
Also, like Sam can literally just go for lethal next turn if he wants. He can like send both Dreadnoughts and like allow Nathan to block and then just face out one of them.
Do you think there's any? I mean, that's the aggressive line. Is there any reason that he needs to do that though?
No, I think that he just keeps drawing 9 cards every turn and he just wins eventually. You can probably.
It's only 7.
You can probably swing with 1.
Right?
Yeah, I think swing it with 1 is very reasonable because the fact that Sam has Charm in hand means that if he wants to play another Dreadnought, he doesn't really need to. He doesn't actually need to trigger the Oath for Nathan. If he thinks that Nathan potentially has like another Stifle in hand, he'll put another Dreadnought. That's a really good block right there.
I don't want to take any damage.
Yeah, that's a very good block. So Sam prevents exactly what we were talking about before.
Just blocks with all those guys.
Mm-hmm. Nice little 12-12 exchange.
This is where Red Blue Dreadnought would have it out.
Yeah.
Yes. If Sam like doesn't have foil. Or whatever. Oh, so Sam is actually going for the kill here.
Is he phasing out?
Yeah, he's phasing out Nathan's Dreadnought in combat so that he can actually untap and kill him. And this is free for Sam to do. Like that's the good thing about this play, right? Because he made sure that the Dreadnoughts are going to trade, so he cannot get attacked back on the next turn. But like that's so smart to do actually during combat. That's very cool. Oh, we're hella racking here. He's taxing. He just knew that top 6 were islands. That's hilarious. There you go. But yeah, we're just gonna draw a million cards. And I think that Sam can now get aggressive. I think he has finally turned the corner. As far as ending the game goes, you know, like before he had already turned the corner, but like he couldn't actually end the game. Now he can. Yep. And the good thing again, because he has actually played Dreadnoughts, we're gonna be seeing this game not take too long, as opposed to if this were a regular Parfait.
That's Nought.
Exactly.
Just for the record.
Exactly. Like
I'll see myself out.
if we were playing against actual Parfait, we would be sitting here for like 20 more minutes just talking about how Sam takes game actions and eventually wins. But instead of that, Sam's gonna get into the red zone twice, and we're gonna be done with this game. Yeah, we do see the Nathan block there,
Take 10.
which makes a lot of sense. Take 10, go down to 8 or 9 or 9, yeah. And we're kind of cooking here.
Fran, you gotta get out. Kid.
I'm just too excited about this.
I don't know. I don't feel like when he's actually talking about lines that he's that loud. So,
Yeah.
Just gets excited about things that are.
We gotta soundproof the back here.
Yeah, that's our next step.
That's right. Because now there's too much silence in their store, right?
Yeah.
Like before, like the actual people talking.
You need to have like an 8 o'clock event, and like a bunch of people come in and just start playing.
This is the point of the game I feel good when my Parfait opponent is keeping like 3-4 cards in their hand when they scroll down.
Oh yeah.
Like, sorry, these are so good.
Exactly. These are too good to shuffle back. But these ones are bad.
You're holding.
I'm not letting go of these ones.
Yeah.
Your Parfait player is keeping more cards in their hand than you have in your hand. You're probably out. You're probably gone.
That's probably a good way to look at it. So we have a tapped Dreadnought. We have a face out Dreadnought. So Sam has the game over next turn. So now we're gonna see the plow. Okay.
I can't feel like this.
Yeah, I think that Sam doesn't care about this.
Let it happen.
I mean, there's no reason not to, right?
Oh, is he out of vision terms? Yes.
Well, there's the one good.
Yeah, there's the other
get
Dreadnought
phase back
coming.
in.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the other
Okay.
phases back in and just swings.
I forget.
Demetrius says this is the most depressing thing I've ever seen. I don't think that was that depressing.
That was pretty cool,
I don't
actually.
know. That was, I thought, pretty interesting.
I thought it
This
was.
is gonna be entertaining just once, and we're here for it.
Yeah, when it's new, it's super cool.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's super cool today, and next week you're all assholes.
Yeah. Man, this is. I'm honestly very impressed. I think this Parfait Dreadnought deck is very good. I was really high on it, and then you told me that there's only one oath, and I'm just like,
Lost your shit.
the light bulb just like lit up in my brain, and I'm just
couldn't
like,
even handle it.
what?
I didn't realize that either. Like,
Azorius combo.
Dude, there's
Yeah.
one oath,
Yeah.
one library, one ivory tower. Sam is such a genius, dude. Like, this deck is so well built.
18 lands.
Only 3 Swords to Plowshares is such a statement.
yeah. That's the one that I really stuck
That
out.
one is such a statement. It's like, yeah, you may have your creatures.
Is this the deck you're okay with someone playing in Enlightened Tutor in?
Yes, I can play in line. And that's kind of one of the things that Sam said. You know, like when I was playing, when I was working on Blue White Dreadnought, when I just put it together, like I had 2 Enlightened Tutors in my deck, and I was realizing that the best thing that Enlightened Tutor did in that deck was pitch to foil. Like that was the best use that I could find for the card. But the fact that this puts the Enlightened Tutor in the context of Parfait which is probably like the only shell in which Enlightened Tutor is truly, truly broken, and it's really, really good, because it's the only deck that can not only recoup the card advantage, but also completely get out of control once it has the engine going, right? As we just saw. So the fact that if you find yourself in those very, very narrow situations where you actually want to tutor for Dreadnought, you can just do it because tutor is just good in your deck because you're playing a Parfait deck. So that is one of the big strengths of like Sam's build right here. It's very, very cool. Like it's just,
and in some decks, like like aggro, you could just do it. You just tutor turn 2,
exactly.
get you. Yeah.
Exactly, because like there's very few matchups where like you really want to be doing that. Like against Slide game 1, there's no answer that you can have to Dreadnought. So turn 2 Dreadnought is just game over.
If it's the fix, it's the fix. Yeah.
Exactly. So you get to do that with this deck because when the Enlightened Tutor is dead for tutoring for Dreadnought, you can just tutor a land tax instead, and it's actually very good. So that's very, very cool. Like it just feels like all the pieces just fit together very, very smoothly, and like everything just works well.
It turns out all the cards that are way too good play together really well.
Yes. Yes, and it's very interesting. I really, really like it. It's a deck that when you look at it, when I first looked at the list, like I was just watching Sam play outside, and I just look at the board and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And like the more that I'm learning about it, as I'm seeing it in action right now, it's like,
It's texting its mom right now. What's happening to me?
Mom, I'm only getting
Mom,
one
I'm
box
getting crushed here.
oh man, that's cool.
I don't think I'm getting that other box diamond.
Yeah. Also, one thing that is kind of rough here is the fact that Sam's deck gets much better post board than Nathan does, I think. So Nathan needs to be even more aggressive in post Sideboard games. Like he really needs to make sure that he picks his spots as early as possible. Like it's basically everything everything he does, it is gonna be with some amount of risk. So he just needs to like assess that risk and needs to make sure that he's doing his thing as quickly as it's potentially safe, So I would not be surprised to see Nathan go for it with like only 2 layers of protection, right? Which is something that, against a deck like, I don't know, like Sly, it's just fine because they probably can have like 1 overload and like 1 something else, and you just counter those and you're good to go. Versus a deck like Parfait, like the issue with Dreadnought is the fact that you need 2 attacks at least. So the fact that you actually need those 2 turns, that means that it's twice the mana that they have access to. Yeah. So that's one of the issues with Dreadnought against something like Landstill, for example. You're giving them like
the attack steps are part of your combo against a deck like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the life total actually matters. The fact that it actually takes 2 attack steps, it really is a big deal because you are like you're giving them, you're tapping out on your turn in order to assemble the combo. Your opponent has some mana up, so they have that mana up. Then they untap and they get to answer your Dreadnought, and then they get another untap before they're actually dead. So that is a lot of mana they can have access to. But the fact that the whole thing, like the matchup is going to be so much, like Sam is going to spiral, as we just saw, out of control so easily or like so quickly, really puts the onus on Nathan to be able to put something together very quickly.
Let's see if the plucky blue-white Dreadnought underdog can pull through and make something happen here.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn here because
Sunday, whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Arjun is the underdog and the good guy.
Yeah. I stole all that from Dimitri here. He had another good comment. I play Premodern Ritual Arena Hippie. Sam oaths for Dreadnoughts with tax rack backup.
Different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Dimitri's a funny guy, man.
I'm Premodern's got your back. Like whatever it is that you want to be doing, Premodern's got you. You want to be playing like Jackal Pups? Premodern's got your back. You want to be playing, you want to be turn 1 hippie? You're fine.
Yeah, maybe not anymore.
Maybe not anymore.
Is there any room for someone who likes to cast Blasted Herb?
Yeah. What about 5/5s for 4?
I actually played against Blastoderm today.
Alright. How did it go?
Let's say that I resolved Landstill on turn 2. Do you need to know anything else about
Was
that?
the Blastoderm already in play?
No, I was on the draw, but I played Landstill on turn 2.
What do you think about the Landstill Rock matchup?
I think
you
it's.
feel favored?
I feel extremely favored.
Really.
I think that the word extremely is probably an understatement.
All right.
Also, my list just has like 4 Dust Bowls post board, and like you're, yeah, you can probably like those.
How were those?
They were really
Great.
good.
That's Landy Hotek. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Like Mike told me that I should say. I honestly did not remember Landy Ho's deck. Landy Ho's name, but yeah, I totally stole his deck. It was. I had like the list, and I had 59 cards in the main deck, and like 17 cards in the sideboard, but I had 2 Dust Bowls in the sideboard. I'm just gonna jam one of those in the main deck, and it was fantastic all day. Every time I drew Dust Bowl, I was like, yep.
You played 3 main then?
I played 27 lands. 3 of those were Dust Bowls,
Oh God.
and the 4th one was in the sideboard. It was really good. And
Yeah, when I was in New York, Lad was telling me about that. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Yeah.
it's really good. And also the Arcane Lab.
He credited that idea with a deck I made with him back in 1998 called the Iron Giant, and we like found that like in Tinker mirrors that more Dust Bowls just won. We had 4 and nobody else did, so it was like
Nice.
very advantaged.
What was it? What was the story behind the deck name? Now I want to know.
Iron Giant. It was Tinker and Phyrexian Colossus. It was just and the Iron Giant, the cartoon had recently come out, and we were all fans of it.
Okay, there you go.
It's a great movie.
All right, so we have 2 keeps on 6. We have some mulligans. Nathan throws down a Gush because his hand is Adarkar Wastes and Plains. Those are your mana sources, which are literally the only ones he has access to. That's hilarious. All right, turn to Dreadnought without Daze backup for what's worth. Did Sam purposely miss his land drop? He did. He was just wow. He purposely missed his land drop on turn 1 so he could like mock on 2. That's kind of a next level play right there. Wow, that's very, very
If
good.
you don't have to play land, you have to play land.
I mean, yeah. And by the way, I want to point something out. You know, like all of the mono blue lovers, the mono blue Dreadnought lovers, they say, you know, oh, the blue white mana base is like so bad or whatever, and it's just like, I am not arguing against it, right? I'm not gonna lie to you and say that blue white's mana base is quote unquote fine or anything like that. What I'm saying is that the games that you win with Meddling Mage are much more than the games that you lose because your mana is not the mono blue mana, the mono blue Dreadnought mana, that is, and that is my argument. You can take it or you can leave it.
All right, here.
There you go. Just saying that because like because right here, if Nathan had actually been playing mono blue, he would have a 12/12 in play. You know what I'm saying? So obviously it would be a lot better for him.
Oh, also, did you see that old picture of like me and Kibler and Land?
Yes.
That was on Twitter. That was the weekend we made Iron Giant. That's
really?
That's when I met those two.
Oh, nice.
And I was like walking around the convention center, and they were working on that deck, and I like poked my head in and started saying things. They're like, let me stick around because I was saying smart stuff, and we've been friends ever since. So it's great. It was awesome.
Nice.
Dan Burdick was the other one who was there.
Glad that worked.
The
out.
Iron Giant crew. Yeah.
And now here, the brutal thing about obviously, you know, the rough plains and the rough Adarkar Wastes is that Sam has free reign to do whatever the hell he wants. Like he can just keep making land drops, basically as much as he wants, really, because those lands are gonna be there. Like he knows for sure that Nathan is gonna have at least 1 Adarkar Wastes and 1 plains in play. Meaning that he can just gush freely, and that means that the land tax is always going to be online. So he just hits his land drops, play around Daze that way, set up like the sideboard tech that we're seeing right now,
Yeah.
which is probably not going to do too much, but like it's something that he can do if he wants to. Like he probably just win the game with
The
Dreadnoughts.
freeze.
He's so
Yeah.
excited he dropped it on the ground,
Yes.
or maybe didn't. I don't know.
Nathan might also have a freeze in his deck, but I guess it doesn't do anything because Sam is busted.
Yeah, Sam has blessing, so like freeze doesn't do anything in this matchup, but
It's an interesting card because of Stifle.
it is. It
uh,
is. It is for
Hard
sure.
to pick your spot, I guess.
Yeah.
It is for sure. So like you have to like really know that it's gonna be good to go, because otherwise you're gonna be like sinking a ton of resources into it. But also Sam is playing multiple copies too. Right?
He's 3.
Yeah. So he's
Which is a
actually
lot.
he's actually playing 3 copies, which is insane. But it probably means, I mean, that is the tech that I was saying earlier, which basically means that Sam can effectively never lose the standstill matchup because he's always going to eventually find 2 copies of brain freeze, and that's just going to be enough to win the game straight up. So it's that. I mean,
Well, and
all the end looks like card.
his deck does a much better job of like playing a bunch of cheap spells, like
Yes.
Dreadnoughts and
Yeah,
Stifle
yeah.
Vision Charms and Mox Diamonds, and I mean, he's got a bunch of cheap cards that you could build up if you needed to. Like if that's how you needed to win a game.
It is so ridiculously mana efficient. It's like everything in the deck.
Yes. No, it's honestly, it's just an absolute masterpiece. I would not be surprised if this is like the best deck in Premodern, like straight up.
Could be. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks.
Yep. I'm very interested to see how things develop from here, but like this deck is very good. Like it really does fix a bunch of problems that Parfait usually has, right? And that the other thing is like it's just so flexible, right? Because you can, if you want like lean heavier on Oath because you want to have like your Shard Phoenixes and stuff, you can do that. If you want to lean heavier on, like, there's so much room for maneuver. Like, if you want to have more counter magic, you can probably just try to figure that out. But yeah, maybe like, I guess maybe a turn 1 Lackey is a problem for like for this deck. But I mean, turn 2 Dreadnought is proved to be pretty solid against turn 1 Lackey. So
Hey, with a few 12-12s, you might get out of it.
yep. Yeah, so we do see. Surprisingly enough, Sam actually has because there's no scroll rack in play. Sam has a bunch of lands, and he continues like shuffling, just basically emptying his deck out of lands, but not really actually getting the cards that he needs necessarily.
3 nights ago, I was playing with Sam, and he was oathing up Dreadnoughts to sack him to greater good, and now this is where we're at.
Can we go back?
I looked at his list
Can we
the
go back
first-
to the other night? That sounds sweet.
I looked at his deck list, and the first thing I looked for was how many greater goods he was still playing. There was 0.
Oh, was it the same shell?
Well,
I
kind
was like,
of.
oh, I thought you
Well,
more
not
of like.
really.
I thought it was more of like, oh, we're trying to play.
It was
like,
a
greater good
it
combo
was
deck.
tax rack with greater good,
Okay.
I think, and Dreadnought. I think maybe he didn't have tax rack. I'm trying to think.
No,
But he was oathing up. The idea was oathing up Dreadnought, sacking to greater good. Yeah.
that is hilarious. Okay, so Sam's going to discard. He's probably going to discard a bunch of basics. He has a very strong hand here, but he, awkwardly enough, does not have an answer to the Dreadnought. So he does have ways to effectively time walk in, those vision charms there.
Man,
I
this
imagine-
might be a tight spot here.
Yeah, the fact that Nathan was able to stop the one rack that did get cast, and then like Sam was not able to find another one, ended up being kind of. And again, like that's what I was saying earlier, right? Like the longer the game goes, the better that it gets for Sam. So it really is on Nathan to make sure that this game ends as quickly as possible. Is it time? We're not main face Gushy.
All right.
Which honestly, it's not
Worked last match.
Yeah, it's not the most terrible spot to main face Gush, to be fair.
I mean, Sam's taking a lot of damage, but like a card like Vision Charm can play defense.
That is
not
effectively
very
time.
well, but like
That is effectively a time block. Like
Yeah.
it's a fog, right?
Yeah.
So that's what Vision Charm does in this context, and I mean it's gonna give Sam more draw steps, which is exactly what he's looking for. Like he needs to find an answer to this resolved Dreadnought. It can be his own Dreadnought. It can be Swords to Plowshares or Disenchant if he has any of those left in his deck. So plenty of options for Sam here. But Nathan is actually asking the question. You know, he's saying like, I mean, you have to have it. The top of the deck yields another land. All right, there we go. This game is really close. This game is really, really close.
Is that a red blast?
I think so.
Yes, we have a red elemental blast in hand, which means that, you know, Nathan's counters are probably not going to be particularly effective, but I do wonder if Sam is just considering just rebbing just to know with discard, but like the reb is just so valuable here, right? Bottom on the up, what do we see? I think it was a land. Oh, it was a mage. That is a lot better than a land. That is a heck of a lot better.
Probably get red.
Yeah, Sam's only at 8, so we saw Meddling Mage do a lot more work than that before.
Yeah, Meddling Mage definitely likes getting the red zone in this kind of matchup for sure. Gonna see a Portent. Okay.
Trying to set up the Gush in case.
Portent resolves.
No, I can't.
Counterspell is kind of an interesting one. The Counterspell actually allows us to play Meddling Mage.
Yeah.
Right here.
Well, okay, yeah, Counterspell, it's in Gush, replay an island. Play Meddling Mage.
Mm-hmm. So I think we do like the...
That's a good line.
Yeah, I think I would, if I were in Nathan's spot, I would probably go Floated Blue, Gush, replay one of my islands, and then try to set up like Meddling Mage with Counterspell backup.
Yeah.
We do see the Vision Charm coming in here, which is effectively, as we were saying, just a... I mean, he can go for it here. I don't think you do, but...
Yeah, I like.
Yeah. So if he goes for it here, yeah. Now the
Yeah, he should have. I think he should have gushed first.
Yeah, they would at least give him the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that you just have to gush here. So yeah, you hit your land drop and you have Counterspell up. We'll see if.
I wonder if everybody yelled at him about his aggressive gushing last round, and now he's afraid to gush too soon.
Yeah, I mean that was a good spot to gush because like gush actually gives you mana, right, to have on your opponent's turn. Like and this is like one of the beautiful things about gush, like and what makes the card so interesting in the Dreadnought deck is that there is so much play to it in terms of just when when you do it like matters a lot. You need to know what you're trying to do, and in this case, what we're trying to do, since we were already tapping mana for the Meddling Mage,
Another land for Sam, and it's over.
Wow. Yeah, I mean.
So when your opponent portents and keeps a 3 on the top, and you're like that far behind, do you just shoot the brain freeze off on it because they kept?
Just curious. Well,
that's a very interesting thing, actually.
I mean,
I do wonder, like, cause at that point,
like I might have, I don't know, like it's not getting him anywhere. Like,
well, I do wonder.
Who gains more information in that spot, though?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, as we know, like Nathan has no information on some decks right now. So like the fact that he doesn't know about the brain freeze, like I do think that in this specific, if we had deck list, I think I would be a lot more excited about doing that.
Yeah.
But the fact that we don't makes it probably better for Sam to like make sure that he just has the tech for game 3.
All right, we're on to the final game of the tournament. It's always exciting when it comes down to this last one at a 1-1.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any way that they could draw when we go to another game.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Have you ever drawn a pre-modern game?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I was playing
Shepherd or Rot?
No, it was better than that. I earthquaked.
Okay.
It's both out because I couldn't win. So I was playing like this ramp burning wish deck. So I like my opponent was gonna win the next turn, so I just burning wish for earthquake and killed us both.
There was a point on Magic Online, and it was like M10 sealed or something, or you would cast Fireball and it would just like break the game and draw it. And I mean, Fireball's a great card to begin with, so like there would be people that would have like 2 draws because they were just in a losing position and had to cast a Fireball. At this,
why would it draw it?
I don't know.
I
don't know. It was broken. Some weird coding.
Yeah.
I don't know much about coding, but however they programmed it, had to be like real
Yeah.
weird. For
That was
something
a
to
goofy.
happen.
It was like a Mana Flare Burning Wish deck that I was playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, they're actually.
If I would have been
multiple
smart, put a
cards.
Fireball on my sideboard, I would have won.
Yeah, at one point, there was literally like a deck that just looked. It was basically a bug on MTGO where there was this card that like was like 2 blue, basically blank text. But for whatever reason, somebody figured out that would actually lock your opponent out. Like it would, your opponent could not make any more motions on MTGO. So like there was like this dude who had like, I'm not kidding you, 25 or like 30 different accounts where he would like hop on leagues.
This card?
No, it was not this one.
That one had issues too.
Yeah, but it was like a sorcery.
Oh,
It
okay.
was random sorcery. So like
Atron and Box used this card, I think, to like break MTGO one time. They tried to set it up so that like it was something where like they removed all the stops. It would just take infinite actions or something
Yeah,
like that. And they like
that's-
crashed the program.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
was they did it on purpose just to do it, you know.
This is the card
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, so,
This
yeah,
is
that's from chat. So.
This is exactly the card. And like they basically the deck there was like this dude that had like 20 or 30 accounts where the deck that they built was a bunch of explorers and a bunch and just like I don't know if it were like tutors or things like that. I don't know what else there was, but it was just casting this card on turn 3 or 4 every single game and just locking their opponents out, and they just could not make any more motions, so they were timeout.
Yeah.
They could not concede. They could not do anything like that. It was hilarious. And like it was literally like it was the name of this dude, like one. The name of like all the different accounts were all this because the MTGO people would figure it out and they would ban him. but he had like 30 more accounts. So he would get paired against him, and it would like keep happening. It was so stupid. It was hilarious, dude. It was. So you would like jam a league on MTGO and you would get paired against this guy who would cast distant memories, and you would just like.
I love
Okay.
the anonymity of the internet, just allowing people to be completely
Dude,
ridiculous.
it's so hilarious. Damn, is that Sam's cyber plan?
Is he's just going for brain freeze?
I think he has like 1 brain freeze and 4 meddling mages
This seems
in.
insane to me, right? Like, doesn't he just like win the Dreadnought war anyway?
I don't know. I mean, I think he does.
Game 1, he just dominated him.
I think he does. But I
Nathan
do
can't beat an Oath of Druids.
I do wonder what he.
This sounds bananas.
It's like an entirely different plan. like a completely transformational sideboard. Huh? Very interesting.
You put the sideboard again? I'm like wondering.
The only
Does his deck look thicker right now? Did he just shuffle everything in?
No. He put basically he cybered out 14 cards. There was only an engineer to play in the cyber left.
That one's not good enough.
Yeah, or like maybe it was like 12 or something like that. But like so, it's an entirely different game plan. I'm kind of interested to see like what his plan is because like I didn't actually get to see.
This is an idea
he
to
brought
turn
in.
like a control Parfait deck that just can annihilate all his creatures easily. I don't know.
Maybe he's like pivoting to like being 100% just Gaia's Blessing control.
Yeah,
Maybe.
just to force the tier.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it because I feel like you still lose the same games that you lose.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so too.
You lose the games where like Nathan has like what happened in game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Where, like,
brain
you don't
freeze
find the
doesn't help
answer.
with that. Like you might be able to win with your normal game plan because of that. And
Yeah.
I feel like the games that you would win with brain freeze, you're gonna win with the normal game
Yeah.
plan.
On the one hand, he's probably smarter than all of us.
That's true.
On
I
the
agree with
other, I don't buy it.
What does Nathan have? 3 islands. Yeah, Nathan's hand looks very solid actually. I would snap that off.
I like
Looks
it.
very good. And Sam's hand, we have Blessing, we have some lands. We'll probably have one too many
It looks
lands,
terrible.
I would say. Sam's hand doesn't do too much.
Does he have the brain freeze in this?
No,
is that-
he has a foil.
That's an Annul, right?
Foil and all.
Yeah.
He can probably can probably stop Nathan from winning with this hand, but like not. Yeah, I think Sam has to send it back. Yeah. Nathan also did? What? Wow, I'm really surprised by that.
What?
I would have snapped off that hand. I wonder if he's just like really scared of the turn 1 land tax, and that's why he wants to like mull into Annul or like something like that. But the problem is like you have exactly Annul and nothing else. Like I think he has like 2 Disenchants maybe. So like you don't really have that many answers to a turn 1 land tax anyway. So I think, I don't know. I don't know how low you can really mulligan. Like I would have definitely just kept that hand because you still have Disenchant as an out to turn 1 land tax. Huh. I do wonder. What I'm wondering is like, what is each player looking for in the opening hand? You know, like I do wonder if Nathan is in a situation where he thinks that the only way that he wins is if he has a quick Dreadnought. So the fact that he didn't have a quick Dreadnought right there, basically put him off of the hand. But I do think that you can't just go for a quick Dreadnought in this matchup. You need to resolve Meddling Mage first. Yeah, we're gonna be going to 6 for both players.
This is the finals. This is the final game of the tournament. We already said that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but someone else asked. No, we didn't answer that viewer.
What do we have here? We do have a Daze, we do have a Portent, so we have a similar hand, but without the Meddling Mage this time around. I do wonder if Nathan is on the next level and he actually brought in the Last Breath. Last Breath is there as the tech to specifically answer Meddling Mage. Because I had to go really deep into the card pool in order to find an answer to the Meddling Mage.
It's good.
So
I got that one as soon as I saw it. I was like,
Yep. I was.
But have you ever last breath anything other than a Meddling Mage?
Yes, I have Last Breath, Goblin Tinker,
Okay.
and Goblin Lackey, of course.
oh yeah, Dreadnought. Right?
I have
Power 2. I thought it was casting cost.
no, it's power 2. I have Last Breath. Did I ever Last Breath anything cool? I Last Breath Mischief Factory against Tom.
A Hermit Druid?
No, but I didn't respond to the pump.
Okay.
And it was a really pretty big blowout.
Okay.
And I won the game because of it, and it was great. Just like I had a Meddling Mage in play, and I casually swung into Tom's active factory. It's just like, yeah, just get in there. Just no tricks here. Don't worry about it. All right. Do we have keeps?
I mean, Nathan's got to keep this hand, right?
I think so. I would have kept the previous one too, so like nothing would surprise me. If I were to keep this hand, I would definitely send back the plow for sure. And it looks like Sam also kept. Okay. We're gonna have turn 1 tutor for land tax.
No.
Yeah.
You Daze this, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you can either like you can try to see if you want a high roll, I guess.
Well,
I think that there's a pretty good argument for Daze in it though. Like, cause you know that it's gonna resolve, and like you just don't know whether like Sam has another land. Did he did find the white source? Yeah. All right. He goes for the Daze. Yeah.
I like
this makes sense. Yeah, I like it too.
Or Sam draws land tax.
Yep.
Take this.
We're gonna see the Portent now,
Oh, bait.
and this Portent. Actually, I would not keep this Portent unless.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either.
But the fact that there's a Gush, which is really good in the matchup, and the fact that you actually have a Flooded Strand in hand already,
But he
which
doesn't
can
have
shuffle
like
the second land.
he doesn't have like any of the other pieces, right?
Well, but he's gonna get to shuffle away and fetch for planes and like slam this Meddling Mage, which is
Okay.
gonna be really good here. Shuffles away the other
with
island.
With a pretty hard.
Did he have
He
the Flooded
did do
Strand?
it.
He's not using it if he did.
I
I
thought
thought he did. I thought he did too.
Yeah, I thought he found the Flooded Strand off of the opt.
I didn't
he
Daze
wants-
there.
He wants to draw another island.
Didn't he have 2 days?
No, he only had the one Daze. He already used it.
Oh, he does have a Stifle. right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That red is huge though. Yeah, so now he's just gonna draw the other island, which just does nothing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm very surprised by that. I think I would have just shuffled away the second island and just get a planes. Huh. We're gonna see what Sam. I think there was a library in Sam's hand, which I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna be slammed right here. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Library is just so good in this matchup. Yeah, so now he draws the other island. No, he did have the fetch land. It's an ugly gold border fetch land. So. Yeah, I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah, because
Maybe
I give him sunflower plains on that fetch line.
because the Adarkar Wastes like still keeps you off of a turn from Gush, so it's like
yes, exactly.
um
He would have been closer to Gush if he had done that. Unless he's like trying to. The thing is like if you were going to like try to set up Gush as soon as possible, then you should have played the island there because you were playing Portent. So if your goal is to like shuffle to like fetch for an island with this Flooded Strand, then like I don't think it makes too much sense. We do see an Enlightened Tutor, which I think Sam's gonna be drawing now. Like was this with the library trigger on the stack or something? Or was the library trigger just resolved?
I don't know, because he tapped out for the library, so
Oh, it was upkeep. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so he drew the card from library. He wanted to know whether he was going to draw a land. And now that he knows that he did, he like resolves library, and he's probably going to have to. Oh, he just pays 8. Okay, which honestly I think it's fine to pay 8 here.
2 Plowshares.
Mox Diamond, and like Mox Diamond there as the other draw, perfect to play around. Perfect to play around the
Oh, wow! I would have gushed there.
to play around the Stifle.
He had a gush there, right?
He could have gushed for a counterspell, maybe.
Yeah, I go for it. That's brutal.
No.
Putting tax and library together.
Yeah, tax plus
Yeah,
library.
I would have tried to keep that tax off.
Tax plus library is pretty messed up.
He's got 3 lands in play. That's not too bad.
Yeah, like he would have.
Nathan needs a scroll rack right
Yeah. So okay. So he actually did ended up finding an island. So that's gonna be punishing him, right there. So now, man, we're gonna be in a little bit of a stalemate now. I think Nathan's gonna start discarding some of these islands.
Yeah.
And he's gonna start falling behind pretty quickly.
You didn't not play land? Oh, he's playing around tax.
Yeah, he's playing around the tax.
Sam draws.
Yeah, Sam draws the Gush. Like the game's over probably now.
So now he can play it. Andy's on another island, so
Yeah, like that was a very very small misstep there. But as we were saying before, like how to Gush and like how to set up your draws and stuff like that can be pretty relevant. So I do think I would have shuffled instead of playing the Adarkar Wastes. That would have given Nathan one fresh out, and then like it ended up forcing him to to crack that fetch line at a point where he doesn't really want to when he had islands in hand. He could use.
And it's not like he needed that. That was like his 3rd or 4th island.
Yes,
it was not something he needed.
it was island number 5 actually. So because he ended up, getting an island. So I do think that the shuffle there would have been better.
Is there any chance that Nathan is able to sneak in a Meddling Mage and then protect that?
I mean, that's probably his only hope at this point. It's like Sam is gonna start taking over now. Yep. We're gonna see the float 2 into Gush, and like Nathan now is in a situation where he can't really play lands. And even if he does play creatures, they don't really do anything either because there's this seal here. So now it's gonna be a matter of just trying to figure out a way that he can like circumvent all this stuff. And now any land that Nathan plays just allows Sam to have more access to more mana. So this is again like this is the situation that we saw in game 1. You know, where like Sam is just like triggering every single turn, and like he just keeps spiraling out of control and just like getting further and further ahead every single time. There's no rack this time around, so
It's weird, like card advantage prison. You know?
Yep. It's a very interesting
Like
approach.
he'll always have more mana. He'll always have more cards.
Yes. That is kind of like the stranglehold, you know, like the boa constrictor kind of kind of thing that the Parfait engine puts you on. But yeah, we'll see. We have libraries.
so bad.
Library is not score rack, but it's still pretty damn good. Wow, he's going to 2? Oh no, he's choosing whether he wants to keep the other one. He just
Excuse me, whether he
here.
wants the 3rd or 4th Swords of Plowshares in his hand.
Yeah, he has 2 right now.
There's no way you want a 3rd. You could just die to Meddling Mage.
Yeah, like Meddling Mage and Source Splashes would be ridiculous. Because as we have learned on this stream, Meddling Mage is potentially a good card. Maybe could be good.
The
Jury's
jury's out.
yeah, we're working. We're still figuring it out.
We need more data points.
Yeah, we'll figure it out at some point. But like, I think I'm close to like.
It's borderline playable.
Yeah, I'm getting closer to being a believer. You know.
It's better than replacement level.
All right, we're gonna have some blessing action. Dude, Sam loves Gaia's Blessing so much. It's honestly pretty charming. All right, there we go. Blessing, probably shuffling back the Reb and the Gush. You may even want the Enlight Enter at this point. You're just so far ahead on cards that maybe
And a shuffle effect is. Well, I guess he already is attacked.
Oh, he actually shuffles back the island. Oh, so he has something to find.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Not that it matters too much in this context, but
He played a good amount of Parfait with Sam. He brings back in a lot basics a lot
Which
earlier
makes-
than most people I
Yeah.
see who play
Well,
Parfait.
I found myself in situations where you've discarded lands, and then you're like, "Oh, I wish I could tax to get
Yeah.
more," and you just don't have them available.
No, it's smart. I agree with it.
Yeah.
All right, that's time of the round.
all right. What do we have? Annul. Yep. Yeah. The advantage bar right now would be strongly geared towards Sam right now. But Nathan has surprised us before. So,
All he needs is a Meddling Mage.
Yeah,
right?
that's like that is one weakness I think in the situation or the fortress that Sam is in. Got a lot of answers to a Dreadnought, but the Meddling Mage and Source Plowshares can be problematic.
Yeah,
there's still a foil, right, in your hand.
yeah.
Yeah, it really feels like if Nathan just goes to 4 mana, draws a Meddling Mage, he almost can't lose this game.
One thing to keep in mind is that Sam is at 6.
Yeah.
Once again, we're seeing a situation where the Parfait player just being really aggressive with the libraries, but I don't think that Sam is enough in control right here that he can probably maneuver into a situation where he can like get something like Ivory Tower or whatever. I'm surprised that Nathan has not played a land there. I feel like that ship has sailed. And if you're going to win this game, you need to be doing multiple things in the same turn in order to protect whatever it is that you're playing.
Yeah,
or in order to force through.
I'd put a
Meddling
land
Mage.
here too, because he's never stopping Sam from taxing.
Yes, right now, like Sam is going to tax every turn. Like there's no way that Nathan can stop that. And now we have the answer to the Meddling Mage. So if Nathan draws the Mage, it's going to be sad. It's gonna be forced into foiling when he could have just counterspelled, you know. But between gushing and stuff, like Sam's just gonna be able to. Sam's just gonna be able to trigger land tax for the rest of the game, I think.
Oh, he's discard basic.
No, you can't do that.
Can't do what?
Because we went to discard,
we just
so
went to
you don't
discard.
get priority.
Yeah, after discard's down, like there's no time for. Yeah, like usually in this situation, you have to
Yeah.
announce that you're going to discard, and you are giving your opponent priority to do anything on your end step.
Yeah.
And after you have said that you allow your opponent to discard, then that's it. Like you just can't do anything else.
Yeah, I'm surprised here to see.
The
All right.
chance that Sam's gonna kill him with spontaneous generation, right? Yeah.
The spontaneous
Did he have one
generation
on the board?
previous
He
life.
might. I would put past him.
No.
No, he doesn't have one.
Be funny.
Even flashback.
And he's just gonna. I honestly think that Sam's Winkin at this point is Meddling Mage beats. Just straight up. Just swing for 2 every turn. 9 attacks of a Meddling Mage. He even gets to play an island here. I wonder what the mage named there.
What if you name Meddling Mage?
I mean, I think that's likely to be the thing that was named, honestly. Alright. Mage gets answered by Source Plowshares. We play on.
Yeah, I don't see the advantage of staying at 2 when Sam had 1.
There's no playing around this tax. You might as well just run your lines out.
Yeah. And like Sam has already shown that he just doesn't have any more fetchables, I think. Right? He just declined to activate land tax last turn. I think.
He had the same amount of lines last turn. They both had 2.
Okay. Oh, there's a rack. Okay, so that's. Oh, there's the brain freeze. All right. So maybe we will see Sam trying to set up that brain freeze and just loop that brain freeze. Yeah, we're gonna see the rack here, and Sam kind of getting protected with this bread that he has in hand. Nathan does have a foil. Yeah, there we go. There's the red. And okay, there's the foil reaching the island. Yeah, that's just so painful, right? And Nathan discarded an island previously to hand size, and that island is what would enable a gush off the top. Oh, he drew the island anyway. Not yet. Like Sam is sitting on Annul, sitting on the gush. Like the problem at this point is that if Sam has the gush and wants to actually trigger land tax, he can't anyway. You know, with just 2 lands. I know. So not playing any more lands is not playing around land tax anymore at this point. In fact, you need to make sure that you have 1 more island in play so you can gush and play around land tax at that point.
Sam's gonna get the shuffle, so
Yeah.
we'll look at 3 new cards anyway.
Yeah.
Next turn.
Do
So
we
that's a big advantage with the land tax. He gets to see 3 new cards every turn.
Yeah. We're
Put in the booth now.
Hey, everybody.
We're near the end? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Sam cut a bunch of his win conditions in Dreadnoughts, like the win conditions that end the game quickly.
Yeah, the part that we liked about the deck.
Exactly. So now we're talking
He must
about
have
like
heard us.
now we're talking about actual Parfait, and this game is gonna take a long time to end now.
What if it was it just a realization that like maybe Sam's like, oh, this deck is actually not optimal. I should go back to close to my Parfait list as I know it. No, I don't think that's the case. But
I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised to see this. I'm not surprised to see this pivot, particularly in untimed rounds. I could see if we actually had a clock going, I think that we would be in a different situation where Sam would be trying to actually end the game. Okay, yeah, we see Nathan actually going for it here.
well, so has Sam taken out Dreadnoughts and Stifles in vision terms, or does he?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess the biggest perk is that he has just access to more sideboard cards.
Yes.
Um,
He has like a million ways to answer Dreadnoughts, and he has not that many ways to answer Meddling Mages, actually. But he does have his own Meddling Mages.
yeah, I can see because like keeping in that Dreadnought package is like you need. I mean, it's 4 Dreadnoughts and it's like 7 supporting cards.
Yes, it's a
And
lot
so-
of cards.
So
And the Oath.
okay,
So like it's a pretty. I think that he actually cut like 12 cards and brought 12 different cards in.
okay.
But yeah. Portent that was drawn off the top. No way to shuffle. But yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why you kind of want to with the Dreadnought deck, you really want to hold on to your your shuffle effects for as long as possible. This mage though, pretty sexy. The problem is that the mage comes at the cost of 2 blanks,
Oh, okay.
right? Because with no shuffle effect, if you're drawing this mage, that means that you're drawing an Adarkar Wastes and you're drawing a Vision Charm.
What
Both cards
else?
don't
What
work.
else are you looking for? Like, there's a Seal of Cleansing in play. Like,
Yes.
you need to have like Dreadnought, resolve
Yeah.
it, and have Stifle and Vision Charm, like 1 or 2 of those.
I was a little surprised that Nathan took Dreadnought over Annul, because I just don't even see it as a win condition anymore for him.
Yeah. No. So the thought there was that Nathan has like 2 Stifles in hand, so he can use the first Stifle to like enable the Dreadnought and the second one to like counter the Seal of Cleansing, with the hope that Sam's hand is 7 lands. that is Nathan's hope right here. And now Sam finally chose that it's about time to start triggering again these land tax.
How many swords is that?
He has all 4.
He has all
The,
4 in hand,
the
right?
full amount.
That's a poker hand right there.
What's the word for a group of swords? Plowshares?
A scabbard of Plowshares.
All of swords.
So we did see that Nathan did indeed keep. That's funny to say. But we did actually
Deed?
keep the Meddling Mage in there.
Deed would be good here.
The
Sorry.
It would be good, yes. But that means that Nathan knows that he has 2 bricks coming up. So Sam's gonna need to whiff for a long time, and that one-off rev that Sam has in the board has been cast twice already, and maybe a 3rd time. Is that what I saw? It is exactly what I saw. This is the best rev ever. Has been cast so many times already. That's
Is
so
there only
funny.
one on his board?
I think there's
think so.
I think if I saw correctly, there's only one. In which case, yeah, this is really funny.
Where is it?
This must be wrong then.
Is it in the main deck?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, is that like a mistype?
Right? Yeah.
Huh? We'll figure out.
Interesting. Maybe he filled his list out wrong.
Maybe he
Or
like filled the deck
change it.
list. Yeah, well, maybe he filled the deck list with like an old deck list or something. We can probably ask later. Okay.
May have changed it and told the judge, and it didn't get updated with us.
Are we doing some shuffling back now? Oh, we're going to discard. Okay, so we have successfully resolved the rack, but yeah, so yeah, we have successfully resolved the rack. I think that Nathan's not gonna like this. Mage gets revved. Nathan knows that there's an Adarkar Wastes on top of the deck, so there's kind of nowhere to go from here. So I'm trying to figure out how many Source of Plowshares is too many. Looks like the 4th one. Is
The age-old
probably too much.
question.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like the 4th one's actually the
He's
one
in
that's
the-
too many. So
Too many source of Plowshares for his own good, hell.
yep.
Just
Yeah,
give him a source of Plowshares.
I think we're wrapping it up here.
It's like
folks.
Homer eating the donuts. Home.
So now it's all about figuring out. It's all about Nathan's stamina at this point.
Yeah.
It's all about Nathan's stamina at this point. Like, how much can he handle this?
Yeah, because he knows his next turn's a dead draw. too.
Yep.
Do you think Nathan's picked up that the game plan is different for Sam?
I mean, honestly, I don't think we have really seen any signs, but it's been like a lot of
I
time.
guess
and
it's just the absence of
Yeah.
doing something kind of thing.
exactly.
Making a proactive move.
And now Sam found what in the business we call "quote unquote" the nuts, which is that Ivory Tower that's probably gonna lock up the game now.
In Francisco, why is it called the Nut?
It's called the nuts because it gains 3 life every turn.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna. Gaining life is good with Sylvan Library. and like with your opponent trying to attack you. Another Mox for good measure. Another land tax because why not? Yeah, this is. I think that as us streamers, there's a term.
Sam brought in one Meddling Mage. He has no win conditions. He's planning on.
Many players would ask, "Are you having fun yet?" And Sam would answer yes.
Yes. He's just planning on using Blessing and Scroll Rack to win the game.
Yeah.
Knowing that he can't possibly get locked out.
Oh,
To be fair,
Gushing.
these games are pretty enjoyable when you just like can't lose.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the fun part about
It's
this.
a good feeling. Like you know how they say like winning is a good feeling. Well, if you get to win longer, that's kind of what Sam's doing right now.
It's insane how much time Sam has spent winning. It's kind of ridiculous. Like all of this time is like, oh look, there's a win condition. Oh, he gets answer like whatever. I'll find another one like
Our
5
viewers
turns
are
from
just
now.
dropping like a rock. It's like, yeah, I'll read about it tomorrow. That's it.
That's funny. Look at that. Look at that racking. Oof. Look at the taxing. So much taxing, so much racking.
If I were Sam, I would just be putting my deck face up and pulling the base
Yeah.
out.
We got to the point where my timer just like
Fair, man.
it just like reset. It went too high up.
I'd be playing with my hand face up.
Are we
just showing full
exactly?
disclosure everything I'm doing.
That's what I was gonna say. Are we in just casually gaining how much was
9.
Just allow my
like 9
opponent
lives?
to see everything happening and make their own conclusion whether they have a chance or
Is
not.
it worth it? You want to keep doing this?
Yeah, exactly. I do wonder if we have successfully entered like just show you my hand territory. You know?
We joked last time that Sam thinks that he's in the top, if not the top person who's played the most amount of paper Magic as like lifetime.
Uh-huh.
And we always joke like
Yeah,
that's why
most
that's
matches.
why he comes here to play Parfait so he can have it. That
So he can make sure that he's
Yeah.
never gonna lose that title.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I think that we're actually gonna see the end of the game right here.
Oh, there he is.
I would not be surprised if this Meddling Mage names Stifle. And the reason for that is I think that there is a Brain Freeze on the top of Sam's deck, which he's gonna be able to rack into. And after this Gush and the mocks that he played, and like, I think that Nathan's about to get decked. We'll see.
Has Sam ever like counted cards from Nathan?
No,
No.
but I don't think he has. He has to.
Yes. I mean, like, what are your guess of the library totals?
I mean, probably like 30 on the side of Nathan, maybe. But the thing is, like, Sam doesn't even need to have like a lethal Brain Freeze here. He can just mill for 21, and
Yeah.
just
put
cross,
it back into it again later.
exactly,
you know?
just cross his arms for 9 turns. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even need to be lethal. It looks like we are.
It's like he's just,
Oh, he literally. Never
Let
mind.
it-
He literally is gonna discard the Brain.
just gonna let it be.
Oh, maybe he made it look. Yeah.
He's like, look, kid, I could have milled you for 21 here, but instead we're just gonna discard it. Go.
Well, now that the good thing about this is that now that Sam is gonna win a Mox Diamond, he can sell it and he can buy a playset of Plane Shift Meddling Mages.
Yes. Yes.
We reneged the Mox Diamond and give him four Chris Paculas instead. Sorry,
That would be a good deal for Sam.
the chat told me I'm not allowed to give you the Mox. So you gotta take these four Meddling Mages and tear those up.
Honestly, I have nothing but respect for Nathan right here.
He just says, okay, you could do what you want.
Dude, I still
Oh no,
still fighting the fight, dude. The funny thing, I don't know if we're at a point where just the Dreadnought may not be good enough to outrace the onboard Ivory Tower.
yeah, he gained 9 last time.
Yeah. So we may be getting to that point. I love how like Sam is like, staring at the Annul in his hand. Just not even. Stifle. Now what? We foiling here? We could foil if we wanted to. We can gush too.
It's fun.
Yeah, gushing is fun.
Oh, we get blue spells now. All right.
Are we gonna brain freeze? Or do we?
He discarded the brain for his last
He's got
turn.
more. Wouldn't that be?
He's got one.
You could resolve. No, he's got 3.
Yeah, but
Oh.
I think he only brought in 1.
Oh.
Oh wow. We just plowing the Dreadnought. That means that we have now 6 more turns for this Meddling Mage to get the BK over here starting to lose his cool, I think.
Like I said, who doesn't like winning? Ooh, there's a second Meddling Mage though.
Double the clock.
Wait,
Yeah.
if you just name Meddling Mage on swords and Dread,
I don't even think you name Meddling Mage
Yeah,
on swords
you-
anymore. He has like 2 foils in hand.
I left the first part of the commentary.
Dude, this is
All right. We had Disenchant coming.
Disenchant on the tower. Look, I mean that Disenchant is
Calling it.
pointed at the right card. Like, I mean, it's really cool to
Is
see
the ref
Nathan.
gonna call this or what? This is a what's that?
Dude, but Nathan's still
Mercy
playing
roll.
super tight,
Yes, mercy roll.
deep into like
There should
this,
be mercy roll in Magic.
like in this. He probably can never win at this point, but like he is still like playing super tight and like playing to his outs, which is just like good Magic playing right there.
Sam, you got to win 15 minutes or we're giving the Mox Diamond to Nathan.
I would tell him.
Wow. Look at this. 2 racks. So all those basics go back now, and we can search them again with the other land tax. Woo-hoo. Oh, baby.
this will be the biggest ivory tower ever.
Dude, like this Ivory Tower is just like doing some serious work. How many cards is that even?
Sam needs a spell book.
Library language of it.
Lever your blank. Keep your discard face.
With my play.
Dude, Library of Flame would be really sick right here. Up to 15 we go.
It would totally matter, yeah. Agreed.
All right, we did find a blessing. Oof, we get to shuffle the cards again. Chat, we get to shuffle cards again. Yes,
Want to return now?
yes.
Do it again.
Can we get a loop where we're like looping brain freezes and guys blessings? Oh,
I do.
No.
Let's see if does he. Dude, doesn't even bring back the brain freeze. He's just like,
No.
I don't need this.
He's absolutely the blessing and the blast, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and the foil.
And the foil, yeah. Dude,
Doesn't want to slow down tapping out a return.
dude, this, yeah. I think that we have successfully put. I think I'm putting Nathan officially at 0% in this game. I would be. I
Sam
do
could
wonder.
die of old age.
I do wonder if we. If,
That's the one out.
I do wonder if the right play at this point for Sam is to just like reveal the hand. And just.
I'd be playing face up.
Yeah, just like, so these are my cards in hand. You can see them.
Alright.
You think you can beat them?
Go through the deck.
Nathan is a trooper. There we
there
go.
Okay.
There we go.
Woo!
Alright.
Officially. Officially.
There we go,
I've gotten
Sam,
there.
back-to-back winner of our events here, and a great new deck that you're gonna get to have fun with too over the next few months.
Yeah.
I love it.
This deck is sick.
It was sweet.
I am really excited about this deck. This is the coolest version of Parfait that I've seen so far. It has so many pieces, and all of those pieces work very well. Like, there's also literally transformational sideboards that you can like keep your opponent guessing. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Pristine monks right here on the basic island.
He had like 11 turns to draw an out to all that. I don't know why he gave up.
There we go. The 2023 Midwest Premodern Champion has officially been crowned now.
All right. I think we'll get Sam back here. Who wants to interview? Do you want to do it or should I do it?
Do it.
Okay, I can do it. I mean, I talked to him last time, but I know you're real excited, so I'd be fine if you want to talk to him for a bit.
I can talk for
Sure.
sure. Yeah, I'm down.
Well, we'll get him back here after, and then we'll ask him a few questions, and then we'll wrap up the stream. So thanks everyone who's been sticking with us. I know Parfait is an acquired taste. I don't know. I have fun with
Dude,
whatever matches are going on, but
I legit enjoy watching good Parfait players play. I legitimately enjoy it. So yeah, it's cool. I do think that there's a lot to Parfait, and I've actually tried playing Parfait myself a couple of times in like some of my latest videos, and it has been an experience. It has been an experience. It's not for the faint of heart. And the amount of mistakes that I've made per turn cycle are a lot. So, yeah, I really appreciate the amount of planning ahead, and also the amount of one thing that people I don't think give enough credit to is the amount of thought that goes even before playing the matches, And I'm totally not in the center in here, but
that's fine. Well, we're not on that scene yet, anyway.
Okay.
So.
It's okay. But like the amount of thought that goes into deck building, like that's something that we saw with like Lanny when he top 8'd LobsterCon, and like the amount of thought that went into his list, and like every single one-off, there was like a one-off mana leak that may seem random in that deck, and like there was a one-off. What was the other card? That was Fire and Ice. Like there were this couple of random quote unquote one-offs that you would think like he just couldn't find a way to like this is the last card that he found in his binder or whatever. But in reality, it was like a very well thought thing. Like it was a very carefully crafted decision that due to the cyber mapping you needed like X, Y, and Z. Like you needed to like cut these cards and then bring these others in, and you needed help in like the goblins matchup or like the elves matchup, whatever. You had like this dud that you wanted to get rid of, and like you were like missing one too many cards or whatever, and you needed like Fire and Ice just fit the bill. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of deck building decisions that go into the deck because you can literally just do everything. You can do it all. Do you want to be an Oath deck? You can be an Oath deck. Obviously, you have to be a Tax Rack deck. But as Sam has proved today, if you want to be a Dreadnought deck, you can also be a Dreadnought deck. So so much goes into deck building for this deck, and I do feel like all of those decisions end up showing up. Like they end up mattering. We did see like one-off Rev in Sam's sideboard today. Mm-hmm. And that one-off Rev was cast 4 times in that last game.
Yes.
All right? So, like, the single one-off Rev, which you're like, oh, why do you have, like, only one-off Rev? Like, what's the point of having just one copy? You're going to see it many times. Like, it does matter. And it was great every time. Like, it traded with Meddling Mage, like, with 2 of Nathan's Meddling Mages in the end. So, it's very, very cool. It's very, very cool. So, yep. If you enjoy Parfait gaming, then the Premodern is the format for you.
Yeah, that's kind of the world we're approaching. So until someone finds like that really metagame choice that will destroy Parfait and maybe knock it back a notch, that's kind of what we need to do, I guess.
Yep. No, I mean, and I thought that the Dreadnought, the Landstill deck was kind of gonna be that, but it turns out that it wasn't. It turns out that it just wasn't. So, yeah, like the fact that the deck can adapt. I feel like the big mistake that people make with Parfait is A, not getting the reps, and B, not getting the reps again, right? So, if you don't have enough reps with Parfait, then it's just you're gonna go to time.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way that it's gonna work out. You know, like it's
not
just,
only like your physical actions, but you definitely have to like know your game plan. Like, how is this game end? Like, what are the important points, and like, how can you like mitigate your risks at those certain points, and say like, okay, these are the important cards that I need to find and hang on to.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing a Lightning Tutor, right?
Mhm.
Depending on the matchups, you need to know what you Enlighten Tutor for. You need to know what your outs are. You need to know how to set up those outs, right? Like I remember, like the win and in for top 8 at LobsterCon, where Lanny was playing against Par Sam or Black Fae, or like however you want to call it. I like Par Sam personally, but and he was setting up over, I'm not kidding, 30 turns. He was setting up this one only turn, where he duressed into Tormod's Crypt in the same turn. Neither player had any lands in play because there were multiple land taxes on both sides. And like Lanny set that up from like turn 1. He was setting up that specific turn that happened 30 turns later.
He was waiting to play a land, so he had duress and Tormod's Crypt. Come sit down.
Well, the champion is right here.
Hi.
Hi. We called you a hero for like adjusting the Parfait decks to have like a faster win condition, and then it just got sideboarded out at the end. And so we're like, all right, no longer the hero.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had him in for game 2, and then I was like, wait, these are like pretty hard to stick because like he has counters and plows and disenchants. So why am I bothering when I have inevitability? So
Exactly.
I'll just cut all of this, bring in all my stuff that stops him from killing me, and hang out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like at first, I'm like, I guess I didn't think about like the cards that you had to cut to bring in all the cards that give you more inevitability. And I'm like, well, you still lose the games where he has like a quick Dreadnought and dies. And I'm like, well, then why don't you just have the Dreadnought so that you might not get to that position, or like you might be able to have your own like nut draw or whatever. But obviously, it's not like you could just have 75 cards and have a consistent deck. So
Right.
that makes sense.
That-
You have to
yeah,
take out
like-
something.
Basically all day I've been sideboarding like 2 or 3 cards because like when you just jam 2 decks together, if you want to keep both decks in your deck, like I mean, like, so the 2 engines fit in the same deck with nothing else. But the problem is like you can't like cut part of the Dreadnought package,
Yep.
and you can't really cut part of the land tax package. So like you have to either just like cut an entire thing,
Okay.
or tweak just a couple cards.
And that was, I mean, not by design, but something I guess you realized had more of a drawback during the tournament, or did you know that like coming in?
So to be clear, I have not played any games
Yeah.
with this deck before the tournament.
Wow, congrats.
And built
like
it
very
yesterday
good.
morning. And so
So was it more just like a challenge of you to do something different? Do you think, are you attacking something specific?
So I mean,
or-
like basically, I was like, I could just play the deck that I played before. I think it's really good. I would cut 2 planes and add a Gush and a Duress, and I would change the sideboard by like a card or 2 to like basically I was like, okay, I know there are people coming from out of town who are like serious about trying to beat me. I'm gonna guess that they're gonna try to play like a land still deck to do that. So I would like to be a little bit better prepared for that. Because like I don't want to go into a tournament like in this format knowing that I have literally one bad matchup. And so yesterday morning I like brainstormed a couple of decks, this one and then a like 4 Anyard Brushhopper, 2 Weathered Wayfarer, 1 Bird of Paradise, 2 Crows and Tusker, 4 main deck Meddling Mage, 4 foil with only 4 islands and no other blue cards.
Okay.
Like kind of
Didn't
in
see
the
that
like
one coming. Yeah.
it's like a Terravore kind of thing, but Parfait.
Okay.
And with no
Parfait
Terravore,
work.
just Anyard Brushhopper.
Okay.
But it still has like Weathered Wayfarer to get like Treetop Village and Antica Monastery and cycling lands. And
That's a pile.
I was like, I'm either
Sounds
gonna
great.
play that to be like, I don't think that deck can ever lose to Standstill, or yeah, because like I have like Enlightened Tutor is the worst card against decks with counterspells. Those were in my sideboard in that deck because I'm like a landsy beatdowny deck, but then against people where I have like important bullets, like against elves or goblins or whatever, I bring in like Plagues, and Tutors. Against like Graveyard combo, I bring in Crypts and Tutors. And so anyway, yeah, I was thinking about that deck, I was thinking about this deck, and I was thinking about the deck I played before. And I was like, well, I think there's the highest chance that this like Dreadnought deck is just actually broken, because like basically I have everything Dreadnought has, but my like engine is like known to be strictly better than air, and Dreadnought's like one of the other best decks. So if I just like cut a bunch of like opts for a unbeatable card draw engine, and I get to play Mox Diamond, so I can turn one Dreadnought people, and like I force people to answer my Dreadnoughts, but then I can just reassemble because I have like a draw a million cards engine. It seems really good. And I was like, well, let's look at the cards that I'm losing from my control deck to like get this. So I looked at like, okay, so I have this 12 card package that's like 1 Oath, 4 Dreadnoughts, 4 Vision Charms, 3 Stifles. So that's 12 cards in. What 12 cards am I losing? And it's a bunch of like, it's counterspells, and then it's a bunch of like bullet, answer anything type stuff. And I'm like, well, I think I improve my matchup against aggro if instead of like, oh, I can find a humility, I just 12/12 them. Sure. And so I'm like, all of the like reactive stuff is way less important. Like I know, like I've played some with Dreadnought, I've talked to people about Dreadnought, I know which decks struggle against Dreadnought, and I'm like, all the places where I'm giving something up by losing these bullets, I think I'm gaining ground with the Dreadnoughts.
Okay.
Nice. So is that how they came about? Like you were thinking about, like, it was not just like a thought exercise?
No, I mean,
or-
on Wednesday, for a while I had a like Oath of Druid, like a Bant Oath of Druids Greater Good Dreadnought, not Parfait but Gaia's Blessing deck, that was
That
like
sounds exciting.
trying to do the same kind of thing, but instead of using a tax scroll rack engine, it was using a Gaia's Blessing Dreadnought engine, but also it was playing both Lotus Petal and Mox Diamond, and it was really good at just going like turn 1 Dreadnought go. And so when I finally got around to playing that deck, it was like, oh, this turn 1 Dreadnought go thing is pretty good, but I never get around to actually casting the Greater Goods. So what if instead of having this like Greater Good engine, I just go back to having the engine that I know is the best thing in the format? So then I was like, I think I can actually fit all of this, and I just did, and it was kind of weird that no one else had one. So it was like, oh yeah, I know this deck takes like these 24 slots, and this deck takes these 12 slots. I don't know why. I mean, those go together. Sure, let's do it.
Did you ever win a game? You talk about winning quick with Dreadnought, that you just went like island, like Dreadnought, Stifle, and then kill them, and then you like the next game you're playing like Scrollack and land tax, and they're like, what happened? Did it ever happen in that sequence?
I honestly, I didn't sleep much last night, so I don't remember my early
I guess it
rounds very
also,
well.
it seems unlikely in a sense because you kind of have to be pretty aggressive to like not play any of your other good cards.
Right, and
in the
like
game
once
to end
you
instead.
like, I mean, so a lot of the time it's like actually Mox Diamond Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this is a little different.
Yeah.
And like if you play any one of the pieces,
Yeah,
like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like even if you discard Forest to your like Mox or whatever.
Sure. Were there any like really unique or particular reactions you remember from opponents when they like kind of like when they realized that these two things?
Well, I don't know if
each other
Brand was an opponent when he saw what was going on. Oh, and Aaron also, like, there were some people who saw what was going on and they were like, oh, if we play, I'm not going to be able to beat that.
I was particularly impressed, like the sideboard that you showed me, like the sideboard deck of like just bringing in like 3 flash freezes against.
No, not flash. 3 brain freezes.
Brain freezes. Sorry. Yeah. Like I was after I saw you do that against another Lansdale player, and I'm just there, just cracking my head, like I literally can't beat that. Like it's just not a thing I can beat.
I mean, so that's one thing I realized, like in sideboarding, was it's like, well, I can't really sideboard much, but like, what are they gonna do? Like, how do you sideboard in a way to be prepared for the tax engine and a 12/12, and you don't know which one's like. Either on turn 2 I'm going to start drawing 3 cards a turn, or on turn 2 I'm going to start attacking you for 12. Figure it out. Like,
Yeah, the easiness, I don't even know if that's a word, but like how easily you were able to like the game 1 of the finals versus like Stiflenought. Like you just had the oath in play, and it was okay. We were here in the booth and we were like thinking, okay, so they trade Dreadnoughts, and then Sam has another one. You know, it's just like, and then they, you know, then Nathan plows it, and then Sam has another one the following turn. Like it just doesn't matter, right? Like how easily.
I was a little
you were
surprised that
assembling.
he attacked with the Meddling Mage.
Yeah.
Rather than like holding it back so that if I attack, he gets to chump and then oath up a Dreadnought. But maybe he didn't have a card in hand to keep the Dreadnought.
Yes. I think that's kind of what was going on.
Right.
That's just a game of who's going to draw more Vision Charms and Stifles, though, right?
Right, but I have the better card run.
He's
And then
gonna
he
win
also
that
runs
every-
out of Dreadnoughts eventually. If he even
Right,
goes
exactly.
for it.
Yeah, like if it's just okay, we all play all our
It's not
Dreadnoughts,
getting
I'm like,
anywhere.
okay,
Yeah.
Blessing, like, yeah, Blessing wins the both of us oath game very
Exactly.
easily.
Yeah.
Exactly. It looked very impressive throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. And obviously the other thing about this hybrid is, in addition to getting Mox Diamond to Dreadnought faster, more importantly, you get to actually play Enlightened Tutor in your Dreadnought deck, which means, like, normally you're in this spot where you're looking for a 2-card combo, and you have 4 of one half of it with the Dreadnought, and like 8 of the other half with the blue cards. But if you add some Enlightened Tutors, now you get to balance that out. I had 7 of each side because I was only playing 3 Stifle and I was only playing 3 Enlightened Tutor. But against anyone where the Dreadnought thing is what I'm trying to do, I can just tutor for Dreadnought instead of like trying to assemble the like tax stuff.
Exactly. And I was saying earlier how in the blue-white Dreadnought, like my experience with Enlightened Root was just, it was the best card to pitch to pull, because you can never really afford the card disadvantage in that deck, but you can because you're playing land tax.
Yeah.
So it fixes that issue. Like obviously Enlightened Tutor is great when you're trying to like combo fast, but you know, if you get hurt against like a matchup where you're not trying to do that, you can still use Enlightened Tutor to like to get a lot of value.
Right. And I mean, I
to
had
the
spots
other
where
engine.
like I was against the red-green land destruction deck.
Yeah.
I had a hand where like I had Enlightened Tutor and I had a blue, like I don't remember if it was Stifle or Charm. Like on turn 1, I could have just gone for like turn 2, like Dreadnought against like this red-green deck, and I was like, no, it's actually better to just hold this blue card, tutor for land tax, because he, I'm sure, brought in a bunch of disenchants, and I don't want to like get 2 for 1, well, really 3 for 1, because the tutor and then the Dreadnought and the like thing buy one of those, so I'll just get land tax. If his land destruction deck doesn't answer like land tax, I'm just gonna win eventually. Like I don't need to try to Dreadnought him quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it was really cool how easily you were able to pivot between all of those game plans.
Yeah.
It looked very impressive.
Right, and then like the scroll rack, like even if you don't have like the stuff going, the scroll rack like lets you decide which game plan you want to be on, and then you have like, you know, the blessings and fetch lands and stuff to shuffle with the scroll rack, to like pivot off of one or the other and stuff, which was very useful when it's like, oh, Dreadnoughts aren't good here, or oh, I've drawn 3 of these stupid blue cards. Like at some point you're just like, okay, scroll rack them away, shuffle, go like draw real cards.
Yeah. Like, draw the other part of the engine.
Yeah,
right?
it's like, oh, how do you like jam these 2 disparate decks together? It's like, well, they're very good at smoothing it all out.
That's very, very cool.
Yep. No, it like after playing it, it's like it's weird that no one else has done it. Like,
I think it was.
Now, at one point, I was like, "We're just all stupid for not having come up with this."
right? No, I mean it
That's
feels
what
like,
that's
you know,
what
like
made
the
me
pro
feel
tour
like
where like
watching
no one
it.
was playing tricks when it was legal or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's
But we'll
very
see. Maybe there's something
I mean,
that you never played against that.
no, I mean it
yeah.
could have a bad matchup,
Like-
but so to me, I think this deck kind of independent, like the fact that this deck was good enough to win in its I've played no games before like raw stages, although I don't think there's like a lot of tuning to be done. Like I said, it's a very tight deck. But like I feel like this deck is the moment that land tax jumped the shark in pre-modern, where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
if there's like this land tax deck and like that's an archetype, that's cool. But now, once we have proof of concept on you can play the land tax engine and whatever archetype you want,
Sure.
it starts to be like the One Ring is in Modern right now, where people are like
Exactly.
5-0ing with Merfolk with the One Ring, or Burn with the One Ring, or Tron with the One Ring, or Amulet with the One Ring, or whatever. I think that this shows that we might see name a pre-modern deck with tax rack. Like that's the point where like you have to do something.
I've already been goofing around with that, just putting like just
Right.
jamming tax rack into like I was messaging Batelski that like a few weeks ago, like, I'm just gonna play this girl with tax.
Yeah, exactly. No, that sounds way better.
I'm gonna play Enchantress with tax rack. I'm gonna play Dead Guy with tax rack.
Yeah.
Literally, I
all
just
of
kept
those
going
sound like
over and
improvements.
over and over again with it. Like you can ask it. Like, it's like,
Yeah, and I think that that's literally like what's gonna happen after people see that you can do this. So at that point, I think something has to happen to shake up the format, or it's just going to get kind of stupid. And I think that there are a lot of different actions that can happen. I think you can ban Enlightened Tutor, you can ban Land Tax, you can ban Scroll Rack, you can ban Mox Diamond, or you can unban something. And I think, independent of like, oh, I like crushing people with this deck or whatever, I've done enough of that. I'd be fine to move on to like not land tax decks if that's the way the format goes. But I think just like structurally, unbanning cards is gonna like make the format more exciting, and this format kind of exists on people being like, oh wow, you can play those cards. I played those back in the day. They were sweet.
Yeah.
So like if you unban, say, Yawgmoth's Will, you get people who are like, oh man, there's like no format where I get to like really play with Yawgmoth's Will. I would love to like brew Yawgmoth's Will in pre-modern. Whereas if you're like, okay, land tax is banned, you're not getting anyone new excited. Maybe there are some people who are like, oh yeah, I was off it because I got annoyed about playing land tax.
I mean,
But like,
you open some design space to some strategies that land tax is specifically making terrible.
Yeah.
Like say the deck trying to Ravenous Rat you in the one round, you know, or the deck trying to Stone Rain you in the other round, right?
right? Yes. So I mean, it's possible that doing both of these things is right. It's possible that either one is right. But I think that like, I mean, personally, I think Necro and Yawgmoth's Will look safe to me. I think they would add a lot of like excitement to trying to like build around them. I would like to see one or both of those unbanned before or concurrently with banning some part of the tax rack engine. But you know, whatever. I think that the I would like it if the next time I played pre-modern, a different set of cards by one or two cards was what was legal.
All right. And any final thoughts to share? Also, I want you to sign my Gaia's Blessings before you go, just so you know.
No
Just so you know. But any
happy to.
final thoughts to share about the event, the format, like anything?
Oh, I
else in your
mean,
mind?
you know, obviously, I love playing the format. The event was great. It, you know, it ran smoothly. It let me play this format. You know, I know that there is, I believe, probably still an active like community that plays on Moto or whatever, or like webcam games or whatever. I only play in paper, and so you know, I really like that. You know, I wouldn't be brewing pre-modern decks if this store weren't running these tournaments. So shout out to BK.
So there you go. Shout out to BK for breaking this format through Sam. It's all BK's fault.
What did I do?
No, we're thanking you. We're thanking
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Because I let Sam play pre-modern?
I was saying, like, if you weren't running these events, I wouldn't be playing pre-modern or brewing decks for this format or anything.
You wouldn't just like kill everybody. There you go. Excellent. Thank you, BK.
All right, with that, yeah, I just want to say again, congratulations, job well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
thanks.
2 in a row.
Yeah,
Yeah, back to back, baby.
So, one of you is going to be a repeat champion
And-
because Nathan's won one.
As
before,
I also
so,
said on the
yeah.
stream, this deck is this is the first and last day this deck will be entertaining.
All right, with that, we're going to say goodbye, everyone. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you had fun, and until next time, take care.